Growing up, a favorite pastime with my aunt and mom was to solve the riddles about the land of the truth-tellers and the liars, where truth-tellers always tell the truth and liars always lie. When working with AI, you often don't know if you're talking to the truth-teller or the confident liar. And to be fair, the AI doesn't always lie. It is simply telling its own version of the truth, that the mathematically most probable next word is the right answer. After my first episode dropped, a friend asked a very simple, direct question. Why do they get it wrong? That's the question of the hour, because folks are realizing they don't know if the AI answer is correct or a hallucination. While the AI has good intentions aren't good enough. For us to trust the AI answers, we need to know it is correct. And trust isn't a commodity, it's a necessity when dealing with AI. Consider the infamous Air Canada bereavement policy AI hallucination. In 2024, an airline chatbot guessed and quoted a refund policy that did not exist. Ultimately, the airline was held liable for the AI actions. If a model is confused or lost, it almost feels like it makes up an answer. That 2-year-old who looks you dead in the eye and lies has nothing on AI. Let's consider how AI fails. It makes bad recommendations. It invents non-existent policies. It gets lost and fails to find an answer. It breaks legal compliance. It exceeds its authorized scope. It produces unnatural audio. It translates languages incorrectly. It's oblivious to real-world content or common sense. When I say unnatural audio, I'm talking about Audible reading a book on space exploration out loud, and instead of pronouncing it NASA, it painfully spells it out loud as NASA. It completely ruins the listening experience. Industry leaders and regulatory bodies are taking notice because businesses and users are left to deal with these effects of AI failures.
Sure.
Some of the downstream effects are damages your brand reputation, wastes tokens and human-in-the-loop time, leaks sensitive data, causes operational downtime, or creates physical hazards. When we talk about AI failures, we usually picture the big, embarrassing hallucinations, like the New Zealand supermarket chain Pack and Save app called Savey Mealbot. Powered by ChatGPT, it was designed to help shoppers create recipes out of leftover ingredients in their fridge. The aromatic water mix recipe combined water, bleach, and ammonia, creating toxic chlorine gas. The bot cheerfully described it as the perfect non-alcoholic beverage to quench your thirst and refresh your senses. Even describing that true story makes me cringe. One of my personal pet peeves is the endless conversation where the model completely misses the mark, until you finally just give up and say, never mind, I'll do it myself. If you're lucky enough to get some kind of an answer, but it is robotic or off base, a human still has to step in and fix it. That human-in-the-loop tax, where employees burn hours double-checking, translating, and rewriting, quietly destroys the efficiency AI was supposed to deliver. AI relies on structure, rhythm, and clear intent to map relationships between ideas. If my instructions are poorly formatted, rambling, and missing critical context, I'm asking the model to do double work. First, untangle my chaotic syntax, and second, guess at my actual meaning. That friction is where context gets dropped, nuance gets butchered, and translation fails. While AI can quickly find an answer and the reasons behind it in a structured study guide, it gets completely lost in War and Peace, just looking for a single date. Searching unstructured prose wastes time, and time is money. Context friction occurs when the length of a conversation causes a gradual decay of intent. As the conversation continues, the AI slowly forgets the foundational why, the core business logic or intent you established 10 prompts ago. Because the AI pays attention to the beginning and end of a given prompt and often loses track of the middle, it starts optimizing for the immediate, mechanical then of your last sentence, while completely losing the bigger picture. Now let's look at the semantic and syntactic friction. Semantics is the meaning behind your words, your business intent, if you will. Syntax is the structure of those words or the language. Grammatically, the machine is flawless in interpreting language. It understands syntax, the rules of where the nouns and verbs go, much better than I do, although the AI can get tripped up by special characters, which causes syntactic friction. To a human, language is an ecosystem of feelings, cultural shorthand, and shared history. The nuances of language are foreign to the AI. Grammatically, the machine is flawless interpreting language. But when it comes to semantics, the actual intent and human meaning behind those words, AI doesn't have common sense or grandma's wisdom. There's so much in our lives that goes unspoken. We know without having to say it out loud that if the ice cream truck runs out of gas, the ice cream is going to melt and impact sales. When syntax is perfect, but the meaning is completely lost, you get semantic context friction. This example of a German translation to English demonstrates another form of semantic context friction. Imagine a proud German mother posting a quick update online about her toddler cleaning up her room. My 3-year-old just put away all her toys without being asked.
Da wird doch der Hund in der Pfanne verrückt.
To a German speaker, that idiom means she is absolutely pleasantly shocked, the equivalent of saying, well, color me surprised. But run that through a literal, translation-focused AI. My 3-year-old just put away all her toys. And now, the dog in the frying pan is going crazy. Syntactic friction can be deceptive because it hides in plain sight. Take something as simple as a single apostrophe when moving text from Word into Markdown. Copying from rich text like Word, or the way Markdown itself handles quotes, can cause a failure. A simple word like it's with an apostrophe instead of it is completely breaks the syntax and totally wigs out the AI. In programming, a standard apostrophe acts as a code signal. It tells the system where a text string starts or ends. An escape character, like a backslash, is required to tell the machine, hey, this is just a regular apostrophe, not a line of code. Who knew a simple apostrophe could trip up $1 million answer engine? Now I want to talk a bit more about using a conversational style and spoken rhythm. It's obvious you want voice assistants and audio overviews to represent your brand voice properly, but it isn't just about making the AI sound pleasant on audio. Remember, these models are trained on natural language processing. They're fundamentally engineered to predict and follow the natural cadence, pauses, and rhetorical flows of human thought. Writing with clean grammar and an intentional spoken rhythm acts as an unintentional, so we're Dr. Hunter So when you propose the structure, I think I'm going to use an accessibility program to rhythm that German line. You're not fighting the model. You're following the same path as its training data. When you structure information with natural pauses, clear topic transitions, and direct conversational prose, you give the model the handholds it needs to track the logic. When an AI translation tool encounters passive voice, dangling modifiers, or convoluted multi-clause sentences, it must guess at the core meaning, often resulting in an inaccurate translation. When you engineer your sentences to be read aloud, the syntax is naturally direct, active, and punchy. Clear subject-verb-object structures translate with near-perfect accuracy across almost all major language families because there is no structural ambiguity for the translation model to untangle. Idioms and highly academic prose are notoriously difficult to translate. If you write a phrase that relies on a localized metaphor, a translation engine will either translate it literally, which makes no sense in the target language, or completely miss the point. By focusing on conversational clarity for the ear, you're using universal linguistic concepts. A phrase like, "more is always better," translates cleanly into Spanish, Japanese, or German without losing an ounce of its original meaning. Now let's say everything is structured perfectly with all the bells and whistles AI wants. Why would an AI engine still choose to ignore your content? That brings us to answer engine optimization, or AEO. AI engines aggressively favor sources they consider authoritative: published authors, recognized industry voices, or Tableau ambassadors, frequently referenced creators, and in the coding world, trusted GitHub repositories. On the flip side, folks who aggressively chase keywords actually decrease their trust scores. This explains why corporations are shifting advertising dollars toward trusted individual voices rather than traditional channels. In the new AI landscape, authority and clean structure go hand in hand. Although personally, I hope those hilarious Allstate commercials stay around for a while. Mayhem is way too entertaining to lose. Using Markdown to eliminate structural confusion in your text provides maximum clarity with minimum effort. Next time, we're going to look at how to write simple Markdown for AEO and walk through a few common editors. See you then.